Hello everyone, I'm Arif Gilani. We've just arrived here in Saudi and it's a different world, if you will. But my favorite place to read books is actually in the airplane. I had the chance to revisit John Maxwell's Leadership Gold and some nuggets that I've learned from this book in 2007 when it was first published helped me build up the fastest growing financial services office in a company called Primerica. Now, having opened up the gates with Camel 360 and Aurum Foundation, we are revisiting this book and I wanted to share some of the lessons like Abbas Ghazanfari, my good friend in Toronto, said, Arif, I love how you read a book and you can summarize it in 5 minutes and get all of the juice so people don't have to read it. They just watch the video and they learn exactly what happens. So this is an extensive book. I'm going through it chapter by chapter. And the first thing that I wanted to share with you is about leadership gold. Now, searching for gold. John Maxwell is the foremost authority on leadership in America. He was a pastor, and then he decided that to become a leader is higher calling than being a pastor, and he switched his method of leadership to leadership training than just being a pastor. But this is what he wrote: I've had a remarkable, rewarding journey as a leader. In 1964, at the age of 17, I started reading and filing thoughts on the subject of leadership because I knew leading was going to be an important part of my career. Same realizations have happened to me. I saw leadership first at home with my late father, who I have incredible lessons that I'm going to share with you as we share all of the chapters in this book. But he says, I am still learning about leadership. John Maxwell is 78 right now, and he is still learning. This book was written about 2027, so you can see at the age of 60 he was still learning. Many people have contributed to the leadership gold that I present. Again, in my own journey there's been numerous, many people whom I could refer to, but to save you time, I just wanted to thank them for helping me get where I am right now. What I'm teaching can be learned by nearly anyone. Again, I am one of the anyones that took this and applied it. Some of you friends are junkies in personal development. You read books, you watch videos, you like posters, you like reels, but you never know how to apply that knowledge to help you profit, to help you prosper, to help you become the leader that you need to be. Again, John Maxwell explains much of the leadership gold I'm sharing is a result of leadership mistakes that I've made. And I have had my own share of leadership mistakes, and I've learned from them. I want to share some of my mistakes with you. Maybe you will apply to your organization and make sure that you do not make the same mistakes. Again, it says, too often I see people who make mistakes stubbornly, plow ahead, only end up repeating the same mistakes. When you make a mistake once, it's not your fault. If it's twice, then it's your fault. So you got to learn from the mistakes. And it says, try and try again. Try, then stop. Think, change, and then try again. Not just try and try to do the same mistake over and over again, or the same repeated pattern. We have to assess what we're doing. And I'm here going through assessment situation. I'll be interviewing all the founders of Aurum Foundation. I'm the founder of Camel Care 360. We have other co-founders like Shujaddin Ali Shah, who is in England, who is also participating, who is a partner in 2 kingdoms. I am in 1 kingdom, he's in the other kingdom. So together we're developing opportunities that will benefit all of you who watch this video. Now, let me define leadership as per John Maxwell, and you may be able to relate to this. Leadership makes a difference. Why? Here's what I mean. Here's why. Leadership is the willingness to put oneself at risk. I started this YouTube channel by William R. Ward's poem that says people are unreasonable, they will let you down. There's all kinds of sorts of people. As a matter of fact, there's 9 billion versions of them. So every person is different. You cannot judge everyone by the same measure. Leadership is willingness to put oneself at risk. I have done it. Leadership is a passion to make a difference with others. I just love when people realize that they have more inside of them, that when they think a human being can grow to anything that they want as long as you put the time and commitment. Continuing leadership is being dissatisfied with the current reality. My question is, are you satisfied and happy with your current reality? If not, here's leadership again. Leadership is taking responsibility while others are making excuses. I just love this one. Leadership is taking responsibility while others are making excuses. Some of those excuses are legitimate. Some of them are physical. Some of them are mental. Some of them are emotional. Again, there's 8 areas of leadership that we go through in our program training for Aurum Foundation partners. Leadership is seeing possibility in a situation while others see only limitations. I encounter this on daily basis because we all meet on different mindsets. So if you are talking about something at a higher level and someone is right here, you will have a miss. You won't be a match because leadership requires development. Again, leadership is the readiness to stand out in the crowd. Willingness or unwilling, I have done that. Again, you become. People don't look at just your face. They pick up the vibration of your mind when you develop this leadership skill. And I go through that every day. I have the joy and the pleasure of seeing people and uplifting them on a daily basis. And I want to help you do the same. Leadership is an open mind with an open heart. Again, heart and mind, synchronicity in leadership. Leadership is the ability to submerge your ego for the sake of what is best. Ego means edging God out. When you say, I'm the most important person, you're taking the God out of the equation. We are all human beings and we all very insignificant in this place for a very short period of time. The only thing that will make a difference in your life and mine is development of the leadership calling. Leadership is evoking in others the capacity to dream. I want to put you in the state of dreaming at the end of this video. So watch this. If it makes sense to you, like it, share it with somebody who needs some leadership skills or an opportunity to showcase their leadership. Only in a team environment can an individual showcase their capacity to grow and to perform, because this is where you're being compared to people on the same level of skill as yourself in the team environment. Leadership is the power of one's harnessing the power of many. Let me repeat that. Leadership is evoking in others the capacity to dream, but leadership is the power of harnessing the power of many. Leadership is not leading an army into battle. Leadership is like so many others that are awakening other people around the world to make sure that they know that we have the power. The people have the power. Leadership is your heart speaking to hearts of others. I hope this video is speaking to your heart because it's coming from my heart. And leadership is integration of heart, head, and soul. Heart, head, and your soul have to be synced in one, so people don't have to guess who they will meet next time they see you. They know it's the same person. It's growth. It's lit in the head. The leadership is the capacity to care. For good or for bad, we care. And in the caring, to liberate the ideas, energy, and capacity of others. I want to help you liberate the capacity that you have, the potential inside of you, friend. Leadership is the dream made into reality. Do you have any dreams that yet unfulfilled? What is your plan? Or is it already too late? Have you given up on your dreams? I want to wake up that sense of dreaming again. Leadership is above all courageous. Friend, if you worry about what other people think about you, you'll never move into the leadership. So let me go through it again as I read from this, and I take notes. This is how you read books. You don't read books just to leave them back on the shelf the same way. You actually analyze them. Why did I gravitate towards leadership? Well, the first leader that I noticed was my father. Told me, son, at any chance that you get, never have a meal alone. Always share it. He always shared his breakfast with Ahmad Saido, his very good companion, who have been together. They have been together for 50 years. Again, I can go back in my family history 700 years and show you the track of leadership. But latest leadership example I will bring you from the Gilani Academy, Gilani Leadership Academy, is Solomon Gilani, a doctor in America, lived in Australia, went back to Kurdistan, and one day I called him and I said, Sheikh, how did you find your way to Rudolph TV while nobody knew anything about you? He said, my dear, I started at the door. I stepped in and I stayed right there, and I greeted the first person with dignity and respect, and slowly they brought me over, and now I'm in front of the crowd. I'm the one that the public is watching. That's one example. The other examples of leadership that I've learned were great Art Williams, who built a company from scratch, from an incident. His father died, insurance policy didn't pay out. He started Primerica back in 1970s. Jim Rohn, who I saw at the age of 93, never missed a plan, never missed a play, never missed a game, always showing up, even on his deathbed in the hospital. He gave the most inspiring speech, and he says, I am handing you all the track of leadership, and you are to take this to another level. Again, John Maxwell has been one of the leadership experts around the world, and America's favorite leadership expert. Works with presidents, works with Fortune 500 companies and high achievers. Brian Tracy is another mentor that I look up to. Brian Benson is a new mentor that I've just gotten to know. And I just love the energy this man brings to the crowd and the vision that he has. Ahmed Zain, just watched his video from Phuket in Thailand, and how excited he is to share with all of us the opportunity of Aurum Foundation. Again, we're looking for leaders. And this is a time for personal leadership, friend. Personal leadership. Now, who is a leader? You are. You're leading yourself, you lead your family, you lead your children, you lead your business. You are a leader, and that is why it's important for you to learn these leadership goals by John Maxwell. And if you don't have time to read it, all you have to do is tune into this channel right here, and I will share with you the entire book in different short sections. It's time for leadership. It says loneliness is not positional issue, it's a personality issue. If you choose to withdraw and be in your little corner, that's a choice. That's a personal choice, because leaders are looking for people who want to learn this leadership skill. John Maxwell was, and I took his books and I have read all of his books. This was absolutely the best, the gold, leadership gold. So I'm reading it again. Loneliness is not a leadership issue. It's taking people to the top is what good leaders do. If it's lonely at the top, you're not a leader. You're just a person who has come across money or have a business that made you comfortable, and you're not sharing the information. Leadership is all about sharing. No one ever got to the top alone. That's Leadership by John Maxwell, not me. A leader's credibility begins with personal success. When I got introduced to Aurum Foundation, my good friend Hadi Mahochi, who lives in Japan now, while I'm here in Saudi, and most of you are here in Canada, they're in Canada, told me that leadership begins with personal success. He says, oh, I love what you have done. You created a brand with Camel product, Camel 360, that is so good for arthritis, for all of these people. You have established a factory, you have a system in place, your success is already showing, but I want to do something with Aurum Foundation because it's got to do with money. And most people who see our products perhaps can't afford it because this is a luxury brand that helps you health and vitality. And he said that I would love for you to take a look at this. And I did. When I met the founders, when I met the people who were initiated this company in May of 2025, I just fell in love with the mission, because leadership, initiative, you have to get up and go. I saw it. I got up and I said 10 years of experience in financial services given me the edge. This is a piece of cake. Like Alf in Germany said, this is a no-brainer. If you missed Bitcoin, if you missed, Bitcoin 15 years ago, it's $5. Today is $125. Imagine what would have done if you put 10,000 on Bitcoin 15 years ago. The same opportunity exists right now with Aurum Foundation, with all the things that are coming up. And we have daily presentations in 3 different languages, in English, in Persian, and Kurdish. Those 2 languages, late languages, nobody is doing Aurum in those languages yet. But we have in all other languages, in Indonesian, in German, in all languages, that is basically being presented to those countries and that public every single day. You can tune into one and your life will never be the same. Avoiding positional thinking. Leadership is relational as much as positional. Again, leadership is not about the assignment of your position, you're a CEO, you're a manager, you're a boss. Leadership is about taking the people with you to the promised land. So we all walk together. An individual who takes the relational approach to leadership will never be lonely. Fortunately, I've never been lonely all my life, even though I spend 90% of my time alone, because I like to work on me. As soon as we arrived here, I signed up the first person with Aurum Foundation because I explained to them the benefits that they will have, and they said, wow, that's easy. In exactly 5 minutes, signed up, went through the wallet, put investment, put the $100 or $250 in, while it took me a month to get the first people to do this in Canada. Friends, leadership requires time, requires attention. Realize the downsides of success and failures. If you don't do this, your family will suffer. If you don't do this, your community will suffer. If you don't do this, the people around you will suffer, because it's like having the secret, the water in the desert, in the heat, and seeing someone die and not being able to reach out to them. That's committing the sin of the desert. If you see this video and you feel there's value here, you are obligated to talk to someone, to book an appointment, to come and ask me some questions so I can teach you all of these principles that I've learned over the years. Understand that you are in the people business. Leadership is in the business of people. We deal people, we don't deal products, we teach people. Buy into the law of significance. Now, what is the law of significance? 1 is too small of a number to achieve any greatness. That's why leaders get to the top by bringing other people's with them. So I'm sorry, if you have made everything out of yourself, you haven't made a whole much out of yourself. He says that if you are the only person who, like many people say, I'm self-made, there's no self-made leaders. Because if you just by yourself at the top, you haven't made much of yourself. The whole principle of leadership is to share with those you care about. People working together for a common vision can be an incredible experience. I am having the time of my life, and I want to invite some of you to this incredible journey. You have hesitations, you have doubts, you're not sure. That's what leadership is, to give you all of those answers. All you need to do is to reach out. Is here. If it is lonely at the top, you change it to, if it's lonely at the top, you must be doing something wrong. Leadership is never lonely at the top. Come to the top and join me. Let us go to the top together. It's not lonely at the top if you're a leader. And if you're not, we'll teach you these principles. See, I take this home. I ask my kids, I ask my family members to see what they do to learn leadership, because leadership is the only ship It's like the ship of the desert, like the camel that is the safest to take you from here to the edge of your grave, because we never stop learning. زگهواره تا گور دانش بجوی. Abu Ali Sina, Avicenna of Iran, said it 750 years ago. He says, from the day that you're born, you learn until the day that you're gone. So if learning is not a part of your life, you're probably not made for leadership. Allow me to explain to you. If it's lonely at the top, you're doing something wrong through my own experiences. Here's what it is. First, I learned merchandising through a company called Canadian Tire. You know, stocking products, tagging them, pricing them, seeing what's the value of each product, where it's made, where it's gone. All of this was my first job in Canada at the age of 27. Then I went into the FedEx Corporation, learn about global transportation, a product shipped in Mongolia, how and where it goes until it arrives in Canada or in shelf in your kitchen or in your under your feet. That's what I learned at FedEx. Then I went to financial services with PFS, Primerica Financial Services. Great leadership grounds for learning. I learned a lot about money, about finances, about the future, and about leadership. Then I started Camel Care 360, or the Camel Company of Canada, as we call it, that now we're expanding in the Gulf and reaching out to those who are in need of health and wellness products. All of this have been summarized into two words, Aurum Foundation. Why? CTC taught me about merchandising that I've learned with Camel Care 360. PFS and FedEx taught me leaderships that I'm applying right now to Aurum Foundation. Others are better at the people with connecting, communicating, casting a vision, motivating, which are the strengths of leadership. Again, to develop your leadership skills, you need to read books, take courses. Again, it's John Maxwell, it's not Arif Gilani. What it means is you have to climb the ladder one step at a time by reading, by learning. Why do you want to be at the top? You have to define it. You have to know why you're hustling, why you put in the time, why you go in the morning for a run, why you go to the gym while others are sleeping, why you read while others are watching TV, why you separate yourself from the masses. You have to be very clear about that. And how big is your dream? How big is your dream, my friend? What is your dream? I can get you anything you want from now to 2030 in 5 years, as long as you're completely clear of what you want. The challenge is most people are not clear about what they want. I can feed you one meal and I'll be doing a big favor to you, but I can teach you how to fish and I will change your life. It says mentoring moment. As a leadership mentor, it is your job to assess how the people are mentoring, how the people you are mentoring are handling relationships. Some people are limited by their inability to interact well with others. And if they are disconnected with people above, beside, or below them in the organizational hierarchy, it makes your goal to coach them in this area and to help them connect. Leadership goal and job is to connect you with resources, to connect you with other people, or connect you with your dreams. And if you don't have a vehicle, we're doing 3 presentations daily in Persian, Kurdish, and English. And I will also be joining home office of Aurum right here in Dubai, as they do daily basis at 6 p.m. local time. There's a different presentation happening, and you can turn into that, and you can invite your friends and family to learn from the experts, the people who are shaping this world. Now, judge for yourself, it says. If we're honest with ourselves, we will admit that toughest person to lead is ourselves. I will put down my book based on that, because we come to the end of this session. But the hardest part, the hardest person that I've been able to lead is myself. To manage my 24 hours so that when I put my head on the pillow and I make a assessment of my day, I see that today was a little bit better than yesterday. Yesterday was a little bit better than the other day, and so on and so forth. And I also assess my relationship with the people that I lead. The call for leadership, the call for prayer, the call for betterness is coming. And with that, I'll see you on the next video. Looking forward to seeing you. If you need any help with your leadership skills, if you need any help with financial challenges that you're facing, health challenges, I'm Arif Kilani, your leadership expert. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great day. See you soon.